Sam Altman is the head honcho of OpenAI. And OpenAI, he is the basically the brain trust of this A organization. And you might have remembered from not just possibly looking at the news as you should, but most of you think that oddly enough, Dave, we are their fucking news source. Weird. That Sam Altman and we'll get into it, was the head of OpenAI. And he was the one that also not only had a hand in creating OpenAI or the chatbot, okay, the AI chatbot, but on
generative
top,
AI.
yes, but also was the one who went before Congress and said, we got problems, because even though we are behind this, he did this out of a sense of moral obligation. Who knew? Who the knew? He came out and said, hey, this could be a problem because AI can invent deep fakes, can invent false narrative, can make shit up better than humans, can work around the clock multiple times over, millions of times over. So AI could be a real problem if we keep developing it at the rate we are, which, by the way, I am a developer of, Mr. Altman here. And I just want to let you know, even though we're doing this, you guys need to put in some sort of stopgap between the execution and the distribution of this idea of what we're doing. I like making money. Our company's good. Yeah. But we got a problem. Okay. And it was one of the first and only times that a tech genius executive billionaire came up and said, even though we are developing and doing this, I would like to tell you, this is bad. We have to develop it because, hey, tech, but this might not be the greatest thing if we don't understand it and comprehend what we're doing here. I had nothing but admiration for this man's testimony. Great. So anyway, the executives of OpenAI, the tech company OpenAI, got rid of Mr. Sam Altman last week, said that he was not open and upfront with communication with them, which is what I kind of translated as, we want to make fucking money, and we got the head Lex Luthor down there who all of a sudden got some kind of disease called morality. We can't have that.
For context.
Go ahead, buddy.
Because I know who Sam Altman is. I am familiar that there's been a lot of tumult at OpenAI and whether he is or isn't running it, and the whole. I'm vaguely aware of that general situation, but I don't know much more than that. How soon? What was the timeline between when he gave his testimony and when he was removed?
Oh, it was a bit of time. He gave his testimony. I would say, I mean, this is guesstimating, but I would say, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and but he was removed less than a week ago. And I really believe, and a lot of people believe, that Sam Altman was basically like, hey, this shit's developing so quickly. It's smarter than us. It's taking over the coffee maker. Hal's in control. Can we just calm down and figure this out and let everybody know that I've created Frankenstein? Well, the people that invested in OpenAI are like, no, shut up. And he was like, well, no, I don't think I can. And they were like, you're fired. But I invented it. Yeah, great. You're fired. So OpenAI has something like 785 genius employees that are the brain trust of AI. They are inventing Skynet. When Sam Altman was sent packing, this just happened this week, okay? For all of you that need us for your news source, Microsoft said, we'll take you. You want to be in charge? You can be our
guy. We'll send you a car right now.
Yeah. Oh no, we got you. Just if you can walk across the street, you're in charge from this point forward. We need you, basically.
It
So
wouldn't
all
surprise
of
me if CEOs even still have non-compete clauses and shit, but that goes into the legal weeds that I am not qualified to
he did
pontificate
not.
about.
He did not
Okay.
because that he was like, okay. So anyway, this is shows that the young geniuses in the millennial generation are much less financially opportunistic than the X-Men, my generation. Out of the 785 employees of OpenAI in Silicon Valley or wherever I'm sure it's there, 750 of them signed a petition saying that within a week they were quitting. Basically, all of OpenAI was saying, we're leaving. If you get rid of Sam, and so all the investor, all of corporate AI was just like the board didn't know what to do. They were like, oh, well, we still stand behind our decision. They're like, that's fine.
Meanwhile, they're
Microsoft,
shitting themselves.
no shit. Microsoft said, not only will we take Mr. Altman, we'll take all your employees too, and we'll match the salary if not more. Microsoft in this
I mean,
last
yeah.
and so just today, after 5 or 6 days of a Mexican standoff, forgive me, woke people, they gave in. All board went, okay, you can have your job back. What was that? And you can have your job back. What was that, sir? You can have your job back, Mr. Altman. So whether Sam Altman has taken his job back or not, I don't know. But I can tell you that Microsoft is just salivating, like, do what you got to do because we'll hire them all. We'll hire the entire team because of a morality clause. We're talking about super Lex Luthor geniuses caught up in basically a morality talk, whether it's the government using Musk here for NASA future, or it's fucking people making shit tons of money off futuristic HAL Skynet and the creator going, yo, 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 got problems, need to slow it down a bit. Both of these really struck a chord in me as it's all coming down, Dave. It's all coming down to like 10 tech geniuses that are going to control everything, good or bad, walking around over the 8 billion people on this planet. But both of these concern two Lex Luthors involved, and basically we're looking at some morality issues. And I just thought that's good, pal. I thought it was something worth talking about.
Well, I think it's ironic that years ago, more than once, I had heard Elon Musk kind of referred to as like a Tony Stark type figure. Now everyone's like, no, he was never Tony Stark. He was always Lex Luthor. And the thing with Musk, I'll say first, because I'm more familiar with him than I am with Altman. As far as Altman, I'm aware is behind ChatGPT, but outside of that, I couldn't tell you really much of anything about him. But with Musk, it's actually a little bit worse than you even painted, Jason, because yes, SpaceX is basically ex post facto the United States space program at this point, but also the United States, as far as systematically, government wise, is also relying on Tesla heavily for creating or having a lot of say in the electric vehicle infrastructure that it is hoping to further build out over the next decade. So that has nothing to do with anything going on in outer space. So he actually has his hands in even more pies that have possibly even bigger ramifications on people's day-to-day lives moving forward than what we had even thus far addressed. As far as Altman goes, I said I don't know a whole lot about him, so I don't ever read as far as him as a person or his motives or whatever. But I mean, you and I have talked ad nauseum at length over the whole Wall Street corporate culture and how it is poisoning society in the sense of a board or a stockholder is saying your sole job is to give us perpetual growth and do whatever you have to get us perpetual growth. That's why you've had so many layoffs happening in years where companies have seen seismic profits, and you're still seeing all these employees lose their jobs because they're like, oh well, we got a meeting coming up, so we gotta make that balance sheet look a little bit better, especially if we're going to possibly prepare ourselves for a sale. So we're just going to axe a few hundred people because that'll make the numbers look better. It's the exact same thing where this board on OpenAI was like, hey, your comments have gone directly against what your sole job is, and that is to make us more profit than what we were making yesterday. Therefore, we do not need you, even though you're an expert in the field with which we are investing all of this money. We'll fake it till we make it, man. It'll be fine. So I'm not surprised by that. I am surprised by the blowback because for the vast majority of the, for lack of a better term, the technological staff, or for the the heavy minds behind, for the vast majority of them to take that type of stance where we are all leaving if this guy goes, that I think is really the story here, more so than anything even Altman did himself leading up to it.